I wake up from a long sleep after a busy day, working on school videos and material and reading about neurology. I hear voices, and mostly a voice, and talking really soft, really low. And I'm bewildered, and I'm disoriented. From what I was knew as when people spoke, they didn't hide their words. When they had a friend over in their apartment, when they had someone visiting, when they had a roommate, when there was a family, when there were people together, they didn't talk real soft, real low. And whisper. When humans talk normally, they use their voice to explain, and then there's time. However, when there's time and so much repetitive whispering and soft talking, there's an automatic emotion. Mostly having to do with, oh my gosh, who's my neighbor? And normally, there'd be no big deal. I'd go find a different apartment. But not in Seattle, Washington. Not in Washington State. Unfortunately now. There's no opportunity to listen to music and not have some creepy woman, some spine-tinglingly, spider-like Black Widow crawling. And lastly, I can't help but think about, oh my gosh, I bet that place smells rotten. That nasty stink breath. Spit everywhere from talking to walls and talking to objects and talking to air. Humid. Clothes covered in saliva. And a face with no mood, no emotion other than confusion, misdirection, and complete disorder. Now. And so I learn about medicine, pediatric neurology, neuroscience, biology, chemistry, medicine, health, all together. And although there's a goal, an objective of eventually helping and treating a patient as a doctor, there's a limitation I have now with a human who has decided to use their voice as a repeating sound and noise, who normally would be schizophrenic, categorized. But from what they've said to me so far, how they dress in their skull and bones, in black style, there's no light. There's nobody who wants to enjoy life. There's a person intentionally disregarding services available to help them not be tortured by their brain, in love with their self and their ego and their mind, and talking to their synapses and using their neurons to practice witchcraft now. Had there not been so much resentment, disgust, an aggressive attitude, I'd sit compassionately, quiet and silent, and ignore what I hear as suffering. And worst of all, there could be no suffering. There possibly could be a person, a human, using their sound and their noise, and their loud voice, and their soft whisper to bother their neighbors. Disrupting world. To have a mysterious benefit. I'm afraid to think about and consider. Now, there's an addiction happening with a voice, a sound, a noise, and a whisper. But no real indication Do they hear? Do they see? Do they feel the abuse? The conflict? They make with their mouth, posture and gesture and fake stabbing. And lastly, do they care? About their victim? Do they care about the distress they cause? Do they ever pause to notice what they do to their neighbors? Now,